Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Ian. Good evening, Liam. Good to have you here. Welcome to what is no doubt going to be a exciting evening, or an exciting half hour, or however long it takes. Elimination first leg out of the way. We are here for the elimination final second leg, and for the major semi-final first leg, as they are so catchily called here in the Super League. With a bit of luck, we will squeeze in the minor semi-final and the major semi-final second leg as well, depending on manager availability, chairman availability, and other stuff. IT issues out of the way, hopefully. So thanks to Dan and Mike and the local IT department with suitable screwdrivers and such tools. So all is good. And yeah, we're just looking to get some action here in the Super League. Wonder if which other managers will turn up. Hopefully all of them. So that Mr. Campbell was staggering about Glasgow earlier this evening, which is or whatever it was, which is always good. Hoping to see Neil D as well. I appreciate it's a little bit early, but needs must, and that's how we do it in the Super League these days. We'll give everyone like a few minutes. I can ramble on for a while, of course, um, to see if we can get everyone to turn up. That would be great. Giving the managers the opportunity to get the substitutions done, etc., at such a crucial stage of the season. So uh, let's have a quick look at the results as they were last time out. It was an away win for the reigning champions, the Badgers. I seem to have said that in the beginning of the season, and then it kind of fell off a little bit because it looks as if they were in no state to defend it. But the Badgers have come back into it, and they are here, and they had a great result against Dudley Hill. Chigalco on the score sheet finding some form back as well, getting a goal there, but he is unfortunately suspended, I think, for this evening with that yellow card. And Dudley Hill have some changes in store for us in terms of their tactics, etc. I think Steve has already published it, but we'll speak about that a little bit further once we get closer to actual kickoff of this one. Oh, sorry, the return leg of this one. Um, the Badgers completely dominated. Let's be honest. 12 shots on target. 12 shots to Dudley's one. There was really very little that Dudley came up with in that game. Um, Decent-ish defensive performance, although they conceded two goals, but attacking it was very disappointing. So they've made some changes for this evening, and we will see how it goes as they try to recover from this loss and outdo Badgers at the set, I believe. Badgers, meanwhile, very happy, of course, Shimkovic with the assist, Davids with the other assist. I believe Rea that comes in this evening, but as mentioned before, we'll have a look at that a little bit later on. Meanwhile, in the other game, it was Haggis against Exiles. It was kind of exciting-ish. It looks as if Exiles were, by far the better side. They got the opener. Cassis got the equalizer. Not long after, there was plenty of action in the beginning of the second half. It ended off with Nesta getting sent off and Kalushny injured. Both players, of course, miss out in the game tonight, which is not good news for Exiles, really. But they do have home advantage against Haggis, so that could prove to be the deciding factor, of course, but we will see what happens as the night progresses. In the remaining fixture, or the last fixture for this evening, is going to be East Coast against Northern Burn. Not long ago, we did have a match between the two, in which East Coast ran out as comfortable winners. 3-0 it was there. Iron Robin with uh, with uh, with a goal and I believe one or two assists, one assist indeed. Da Silva with Mendes Da Silva with another assist, and the goals from Agat and Ronaldinho. Um, Solid defensive display from them as well. Breda not on his very best form, but up against Raul Tamudo and Brosek, that didn't really work out particularly well for Northern Burn. They were without a couple of players there. Um, I do apologize. Yes, everyone is only seeing the logo screen, Ian, because that was all I was showing. I forgot. But here we are. Here we are on the East Coast screen with your result against them and the performances of your players. Raul Temudo was one I picked out. Of course, that is Anika Casillas' four indeed, and Temudo's performance. But I believe Inzaghi's back this evening, which should obviously change things up a little bit. So let's go back. Let's go back and have a look In case anyone missed it, these were the results: Dudley against Badgers, Haggis against Exiles. Big away win for Badgers there, dominating the Dudley opponents, and Haggis with a solid performance defensively, but not creating a lot. Exiles could have probably won this one, but they had Nesta sent off as mentioned. So, pick this evening. First of all, we're going to have the elimination final second leg. Badgers Dudley, Exiles Haggis, uh, and following that, we shall have East Coast against Northern Burn. In terms of stats for the season, we can have a quick look at that as well as we eagerly anticipate the arrival of any other managers willing to take part. The team stats, I believe, the form is kind of interesting here. Everyone apart from Exiles, who for some reason have completely fallen off in the last 5 games. All of the teams that are in the final six are sort of relatively heavily presented here. It's only Stacklington that's kind of a new face or an intruder here. But of course, that was if I can go second in the playoffs, that would be appreciated, Martin. Yeah, well, I'm sure we can figure that out. No probably. Um, childcare issues, no worries. Um, so yeah, Exiles did not come into this in the best of form. Everyone else in kind of decent form, and they were East Coast, of course, looking very, very, very strong. But we've had teams going into the playoffs very strong before that hadn't worked out for them. And look at Badgers, don't write them off just yet, especially with that lead they have against Dudley. In terms of average ratings, that's perhaps a little bit surprising that the teams that are in the actual finals here, apart from Exiles, are not like hugely represented amongst these ones. Foss Road, of course, famously kind of almost made it. Uh, Colchester didn't make it. We've got then an Exiles and a East Coast player in Tomasia and Elias. Then there is Lisa Rasu who didn't make it, and we've got Oliver Khan who didn't make it. A couple of Sloth players who didn't make it, and yeah, overall, Sancte, of course, that Oliver Khan has mentioned. So yeah, it's not just the big teams that are represented here in the average rating lists. Unsurprisingly, Filippo Inzaghi, he had a good start to the season. He's had about 11 penalties and he managed 14 goals so far. Crespo not far behind. Of course, he is not in it anymore. Constantino, Vieri, both on 11. It's going to take a lot for them to catch up, but who knows if they make it all the way. Especially Vieri has still got a couple of games to play for sure, and especially if they make it all the way, of course. Elsewhere, referee stats, I don't think they're particularly interesting, but we can have a look at the assists of some of the players. I believe, say, Roberto is out there in front, Roberto Carlos close behind, and Danielson. Solid performances from Fulchester. I think Frey really let them down this season. So a big sad face for for Dan there, and yeah, it was not what he'd hoped for, obviously. But there are players in there that are they're really delivering. So a little bit more stability, and it'll be good news for Colchester for sure. Um, red cards, Nesta with 3, easily out in front. Um, top course is the Brazilian 3 wing backs. That's well spotted, Ian, indeed. Um, yeah, there's a solid representation there of the assist makers from the Brazilian side. Creativity is what it's all about. Um, right, Taylor's managed to put his child to sleep. Well done. Um, I was actually just going to have a quick look at the yellow cards as well, because Montero is nowhere to be seen here. I don't know how many yellow cards he's had, but I mean, can it be that he's had 5? I mean, I'm not sure what Dudley Hill are doing to him, but that's unusual. Patrick Vieira on 11, that's solid. Rustico as well, getting a lot for East Coast, but yeah, it's they've managed even with the suspensions. Obviously, both Northern Burn and East Coast are well into the top of the table, so not a huge concern from them. Man of the Match awards, it was Iron Robin, as I mentioned. He's really picking up some form, starting to look decent with his 20s and his other stuff. And yeah, probably a key player for East Coast again next season. I doubt he'll be going anywhere. Maxim Tagalco is now on 11 goals in 13, but 6 of them were in the the kind of a fraudulent Champions League type thing they have here. So a 5-11 is not a terrible return, and key man for Badgers next season. His attributes are of course growing as well. That'll be another interesting thing to see how some of these younger players that we have in the save, how they develop as the older ones retire, and the ones that are maybe a little bit raw at the right at the beginning, they really start to come into their own. Torres is another one that potentially could be very good, but we will have a look at that next season. We'll of course all have the freedom of the save as soon as the season is finished. I'll progress it to whatever date, possibly processing all of the transfers that are submitted. But enough about that. Um, it seems as if we don't have the wildest audience for this one, but I don't really have much in terms of choice other than to start this off. And what better place to start with than with Jato, if he wants to go first. I have not seen anyone else. I mean, you can see in the chat who apparently is here. So, as mentioned, um, I kind of wish we could have left it later, but it's not. Unfortunately, that's not possible. So we're going to have to run with it, and see what the Badgers and Dudley can do. So we have one of the managers here. So, without further ado, let's get into this one. The game suggests that we start with Badgers against Dudley, which is good. He's without Addo, he's without Dyer, and he's without Paredes, and those are really key players to not have at your disposal. 779 average for Paredes, one of the best DMCs this season in the league. Kieran Dyer, of course, that goes without saying that that's a huge loss, and he also have Eric Addo, who's his sort of normal super sub, is also out. Montero and Lasisi, of course, a solid defensive partnership. Roberto Carlos is there. Johnson as well comes in at DMC, perhaps not his first choice, but he will have to do. Van Bommel is there as well. Emerson in midfield. Balashov comes up to cover that right hand side, and we've got D'Alessandro in midfield. Collins is behind Shevchenko in a slightly strange formation, but it's all good. There's plenty of arrows here. It looks a little bit like the old flying saucer or whatever that Greavesy had, but with more arrows, I think. So interesting lineup, interesting changes from Dudley here. Obviously trying something completely different, as Badgers kind of completely squashed them last time out in terms of their creative output. But onwards and upwards for Dudley. We will see how it goes this evening for them. And here comes the Rainbow Squad. Just the just the 6 injuries and the 4 yellow cards, or 4 or 5 injuries and whatever. Toldo is of course out, got injured in the last minute. Excuse me. Ashley Lyth is out. Giggs is out but in. Uh, Mark Vivian Foe is out. Stanage is out, and Back, as mentioned before, is suspended. That means that Ufalushi starts, which he has done on occasion already this season. Maybe not the best, but he's in there. Desai is in his favorite DMC role, and yeah, Giggs, Mendieta, Amoroso, Rayad comes in at AMC, and Sigalko up top. So what else can we say other than good luck to both managers? Hopefully, it'll be an interesting fight. Dudley Hill trying to come back into this one, but first half will show us which direction is gonna go. Dudley Hill looking very keen to open the scoring. They've definitely had the best of the chances in the first 15 minutes, but unable to find the back of the net. Headman, of course, big name for them in the goal, but he has allowed Zigalko to score here on 19 minutes. It was looking very promising for Dudley Hill right at the beginning, but Zigalko finds the back of the net and puts the Badgers 1-0 up. That's a 3 goal deficit for Dudley Hill. There's one of them pulled back, that's Balashov on 38, but Mendieta with the immediate reply there. Um, and Dudley Hill, they're going to have to find something here. They're going to have to find something before halftime. Otherwise, it's going to be very much uphill in the second half. They go into the break. It's 2-1. And Steve is here. Evening, Steve. It's just, just just in time to say it's over. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. You could easily come back. You could easily come back here. 3 goals. 3 goals in the second half is not impossible. Um, It's been a more even match. Dudley Hill has definitely had their chances, but Badgers very effective. Four shots on target, two of them went in. Hedman's not had a bad game. Lassisi's on a six, Emerson's on a six, Collins on a six, Shevchenko's on a six. It was really not what the manager was hoping for sure. Mendieta might be the best RM I have tried. Probably shouldn't have sold him. um, I had to take my lab training on a night. No, yeah, yeah. I mean, no worries, Steve. No worries, Steve, at all. Um, Yeah, I saw the message, Ian. I'll add that fifth sub. I can't remember who I put on there, but I think it was Zidane. But I'll change it to Broseg or whoever it was that you put in the message. I saw that. Yeah. Um, Steve, if you want to do any changes, of course, then now is a great time to do that. Otherwise, we will run until 60. Tato has already confirmed that he is going to stick. Tsigalko with three shots, all on three on target. Mendieta with a goal and an assist, only on an eight. It's perhaps a little bit harsh. Raya doing relatively well. Even Dimple. Raya doing relatively well here. Masa Desi only on a six. It's not hugely impressive from Badgers though. If Dudley get an early goal in the second half, it could still be interesting. Uh, oh, I love that, Steve. They got me in the mess. They can see it out. That is perfect. Okay, we'll run till 60 and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. That's down on fast. That's fine. We'll be able to stop it right on time. It looks as if absolutely nothing is. Well, De Alessandro's picked up an injury. Um, my suggestion would be to straight swap for Mark Kerr and then see what happens, or host it. It's up to you, Steve, if you want Kerr or host it in there. Not named a fifth sub either. I'll stick Davis on if it's an option. Yeah, sure. We can do that. Mark Kerr and swap with Emerson. That was wrong. Um, Mark Kerr and swap with Emerson. Excellent. Um, let's run until 60. That's 5 minutes. Something might happen here, and then I'll give both managers another shot here at 60 minutes to see if you want to do anything else. There comes Tigalco. Tigalco sends it wide. There's a bunch of nines in there for Tato now. It's looking better and better here in the second half for the home side. Ryan Giggs was the other one, got the other assist. Stee and Tato, if you could just confirm either way if you want to make any changes or if you're good to go, that would be great. And we'll run the last 30 minutes. Who's being called lazy? Marcel Desailly. Indeed, indeed. He is getting on a bit. Who else is getting on a bit? Oliver Kahn must be getting on a bit. Maldini, perhaps. Steve says he'll leave it. Tato, do you want to do anything, or you're good to go with this? Oh my goodness, taking it serious now. Giggs comes off for Jagatos, and Desai for Neil Lennon. That'll do. Right, we shall run until full time and see if there was a 2-foot tackle there that could have been a red card for someone that could have potentially changed the game, but there's only 15 16 minutes left to play now, and although Dudley Hill are still creating chances, it's a huge mountain to climb for them. 4 minutes of added time to be played. It doesn't look as if anyone else is going to get another goal. It isn't. It finishes 2-1 to the Badgers, who live to fight another day. The reigning champions not out of this yet. Davids is suspended anyway. Might as well leave him on. Indeed. Um, Commiserations, Steve. The solid performance here. First game, unfortunately, cost you guys, or so it would seem anyway. Badgers keeping up their good form and yeah, progressing to the minor elimination something something, which will be against either Exiles or Haggis. We are about to find out. Those are your numbers, Steve, and those are your numbers, Tato, if you need them. Maybe the man of the match there. Next up, we have Exiles against Haggis. Um, back to a 0B DMC formation. I can't remember if this time or last time, but anyway, this is the formation for this game. We have Roberto on the left wing, Valtellina on the other one, Smuch in the middle, Raul and Overmars. Indeed, it was the same for last week. Kalushny injured, and Overmars comes in here as he did at the end of the game. And there's Raul Vieri, of course, is also back. It escapes me who Exiles normally have as their captain. So I will try and have a look in previous game. It has been Nesta. He was sent off. Was it that one he was sent off in? And then and Raul was then the captain. Indeed, Raul was the captain when Nesta is not playing, so he can get that. Lovely. So that's what it looks like for Exiles. And they're up against Haggis. Haggis' lineup is like this. Figo comes in at the right-hand side. I forget if that was the only change, but Ian will correct me for sure if it wasn't. Palmo to the bench, Simao to the bench as well. A couple of changes to some set piece takers, but that's normal from Ian's side. All good. Yeah, my tactic file will remain the same for the next game. Aha, yes, about the tactic file. I'll get back to you on that later. I found it, but it was not called what we thought it was called. But anyway, different story for a different for a different day. We'll crack on with this one. We'll see if we can get an opponent for badges in that next game. We kick it off. Exile against Haggis. There's a shower. Two for the tackle on 9 minutes. That could have been costly for someone. Um, Whip Wop controversy. No, there's no Whip Wop controversy. There's file naming conventions that were. But anyway, different topic. Still, half an hour played, no goals as of yet. A couple of chances for either side, nothing really to write home about, similar to the first half of the previous game. Oh, that's not gone well. I'm guessing Pellizzoli, but I'll let you confirm, Ian. It's another toe-stopping incident. Unfortunately, you've led the way, and Samuel's the captain, of course. Yep. Yeah, that is pretty grim. I'm sorry about that. Uh, Never the best thing to happen in an important game to lose your first choice keeper, especially when you've got Christian Vieri on the opposing side, smelling blood here for sure. Um, Although it was a good save by the keeper just there. Um, can the laptop blow up again? I think it's fixed. I think loose connection apparently causing various issues. But anyway, um, not the most exciting of first halves, I have to say. But the Exiles perhaps slightly the better side as they were in the first game. But Hack is holding on. Will it be a repeat of last week's adventure? I think was it Exile scored first and then Hackers equalized straight after before the 60 minutes. Anyway, these are the numbers. Cannavaro's on an 8. Ian Jeremy's is on an 8 as well. Everyone else is looking kind of okay-ish. No fitness issues to speak of for the Haggis. For Exiles, meanwhile, Mark Overmars is not living up to the last 10-15 minutes that he had in the first game that he featured in, and Christian Vieri, who would come back, is also not doing particularly well. Everyone else is looking solid, and there are no fitness issues. I don't know if Neil's about, but if not, then we will probably just roll. I don't think he would have done anything particularly different anyway. Haggis wants to make some changes. Tomadero for Ruud van Nistelrooy. Uh, Tomad Ruud, please, to left, like this. Good, good, good. That's an exciting and interesting save. An exciting and interesting change. Um, Taking up Ruud van Nistelrooy, who, to be fair, hasn't scored in a while. That'll do till 60. I have not seen Neil, so we will run till 60 and see if, as mentioned, we can find an opponent for Badgers in this game. Uh, this is around the time when the goals started to come in the previous encounter. Tomadera unopposed, but manages to miss the chance. We're on 55 minutes now, and there's Casas, another great save from the Exiles keeper. It's been pretty much all Haggis in the beginning of the second half here, but Exiles are coming forward, and there is Christian Vieri with the header on the not regular starting keeper. for Haggis. Here they come again. It's Ser Roberto on the flank, and there's Vieri again. Pellizzoli this time saves it. They get a corner kick, but it's rubble time for Haggis. They are down one goal, and although they created a couple of chances there in the second half, they haven't looked like scoring in the last 5-10 minutes for sure. Ian will no doubt be scratching his head, wondering what to do next. There's Simao is probably the most uh, creative player he has on the bench, and then there's Kalajax as well, who can come in and perhaps do a job. I will leave Ian to consider that. And meanwhile, we'll have a quick look at the Excel stats. It was indeed Ser Roberto who got the assist. Smooches on a 9 as well, doing very, very solid work there in midfield. I think the manager would have been more than happy with that anyway, and not tempted to make any major changes right at this point in time. Probably hanging on to full time. But let's see what Mr. Campbell does. It's down to him now to do stuff. Uh, Figo to the left, for Senden, and then Kalashax comes on for Senden. Any other changes, or this is good? Cast is up front, middle. There we go. And that's it. Excellent. Good luck, Mr. Campbell. Good luck, Neil. Last 30 minutes coming up. Haggis need to find a goal. They need to find a goal to stay in this one. Otherwise, it is Exiles who will be taking on Badgers in the next round. First 7 minutes, not a lot happening. Yellow card being dished out to someone. And there's Ibrahim Said. There comes Casas. Milito sticks out the leg. There's a free kick. It's Figo taking the free kick. Amantides heads it clear. 17 minutes to play. Exiles coming forward again. In such poor form they've come into this Exiles, and it looks as if their fortunes are about to change. Ian has already conceded. Well done. He says that they will make the final. There's a yellow card for someone. Still, only one goal. There's only one goal for Haggis, and we go into, oh, it's a golden goal. I can't remember, but I think so. That was Casas with a chance. It could have been his contribution, but he gets another chance. Here comes Tomadera, but they can't get past Milito down at the back. And now Roberto goes forward. Vieri finds a bunch of people. I'm not sure what happened there, but it didn't end up with a actual chance for Exiles. They do come forward again. 3 minutes now to play of the added time. With 2 minutes of ordinary time left to play, 5 minutes left in total. Will anyone find a goal here? It looks as if they will not, and Exiles take a stroll into the next round. Well done, them. Commiserations, Haggis. Not a good night for you, breaking your toe, re-breaking it on a curb in Glasgow, having to be in Glasgow, and now being eliminated by Rocks in the Super League. Commiserations over the two legs in terms of goal, shots on targets, and overall control of the games. Oh, there is Neil, just in time to celebrate. Um, probably deserved for Exiles over the two legs, and good to see someone in there. Um, I know what I'm talking. I lived there 20 years, Mike. I know what I'm talking about. I know full well what I'm talking about. Congratulations to Exiles for making the minor elimination final or whatever the hell it's called. I forget. Ibrahim Said on a 9. Man of the match, though, was Roberto, who got that assist. Excellent performance. Tomasi as well, doing a swell job. 10 tackles, 10 on them one. Milito as well, who's actually in as a as a backup, as a substitute, doing amazing, amazing effort by him as well. Great strength and everything. Anyway, um, let's see. Uh, I should probably just do this for a second, while I progress for a day. And so we get ready for the next game. Uh, the 10 assists made by Ser Roberto for the Exiles this season is a new club record, in case you were wondering. Um, Thank you for your patience. We are back with the action here. I was just clicking through the in-between stuff. Uh, East Coast against Northern Burn. A repeat of the final day of the regular season, I believe it was. close to the end of the regular season anyway. East Coast won 3-0, um, and Northern Burn were in trouble. However, um, not all is lost for Northern Burn, of course. They do have um, some things in their favor this evening. They are completely without injuries. I will just fix the substitutes as requested by Ian. I forgot what they were already, so I will have to double check my alternative source of information here. It was Kivu Rusti, not Rostov. Yes, Rostov, and then Cole and Brosek were the last two. Let's see, Cole and Brosek. There we go. That should be just about right. Ian, correct me if any mistakes are on display. Um, yeah, Kuhl and Riquelme in there. As you remember, Riquelme with a bunch of goal contributions early on the season kind of fell off a little bit, but he's back. Ndiaye has done well. Dede Emerton, Hipia Campbell, Iker Casillas throwing that for back in the days. Those who will remember back far enough to the good old days of Bolton Phoenix winning things, the original Bolton Phoenix winning things. Um, there's something about Iker Casillas and big games and stuff like that. Apparently, he's well suited for these finals, but we'll see if that story holds true tonight. Of course, Ian has that perfect, so we're ready to roll. I guess it's perfect for Dimble as well because he makes no changes apart from putting Davis on the bench, which I have done just there. Constantino up front, Ronaldinho behind, Robin on a yellow, Rustico on a yellow. Two very, very key players for East Coast. So Dimble will be hoping to put this one to bed as early as possible, maybe in the first leg, just in case he's without one of those two in the second. Of course, the winner of these two legs have the benefit of going straight to the final, whereas the loser will have to play the winner of Badgers against Exiles. So anyway, long story short, let's dive into this. And boy, I think it's like since game week one. Anyway, Leroy is not selected. We put this one on. East Coast take on Northern Burn for a direct route in the final, or for an advantage going into the second leg before for a direct route into the final. 12 minutes played and no goals yet. A couple of chances for both sides. Ronaldinho has been active for East Coast, and there is Robin, and there is Nakata, and there is a gap. Oh, it won't count Ronaldinho. I think it was who was offside, but East Coast have been looking exceptionally dangerous in the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and Nakata has opened the scoring for them. No offside on that one. What will Northern Burn do? They hit the crossbar now. That's the crossbar. That's a goal ruled out for offside and a goal they've had East Coast. I'm not sure what Northern Burn have had in terms of reply. Nothing so far. Constantino makes it two. It's a steamroller performance by East Coast as they are marching on towards the final. 9 shots, 4 on target to Northern Burn's 3-1. It's tough, tough reading for Northern Burn fans. It looks as if they will have to do something very, very dramatic in the second half. Otherwise, they could be on their way to another playoff game. Iker Casillas being spoken about as a big game player, not working out well for him tonight. He's on a 5. So is Sol Campbell. Hippias on a 6. 5 for Riquelme. It's very, very, very unburn-like performance by this Burn side. The manager will be relatively furious with this. That was a, Mike says, it won't lie, that was a tough half. Yeah, it was a tough one for Northern Burn. I won't say commiserations just yet, but there's a mountain to climb for them. Look how involved Asan Ndiaye has been there in the middle of the park. East Coast just all over them. Didier Agat with the assist. He was the one who had the goal ruled out for offside. Nakata with the assist for Constantino, and the goal himself on that assist from Agat. Surprisingly, Iron Robin not involved. Um, yeah, Coast got Burn number at the moment. Dimble says same again. So we go into the second half, slow down for the first 15, so we make sure we stop it right on time. Uh, Not a lot has happened. Kovalchuk makes an important challenge. If Burn comes, I was just about to say, if Burn pulls a goal back now by Inzaghi, then it could all still be to play for. Important goal for them there. As we approach the hour mark, there it is. Filippo Inzaghi doing it. I won't say all by himself. Milevski set him up there. Um, and yeah, Northern Burn dead but not buried. 4 goals, 4 shots, 2 on target. No, East Coast haven't had anything in the second half. Kovalchuk on a 9. fitness levels were all good. Apologies, I skipped that a little bit quickly. Here is Northern Burn, your numbers, Ian, fitness. I mean, there are options on the bench. I know you're an as-is man. Yeah, he is an as-is man. Evening Paul, looks like you missed a bit. Yeah, just a little bit, but don't worry, there's still plenty more to come. Or at least half an hour of this game and potentially a little bit more this evening. Um, East Coast, eights, nines. That's just the sixth for Rede. Um, Fitness-wise, all good. Mendes de Silva is on a yellow. We'll see if Dimple wants to make any changes. Impressive performance by Nakata there. Didn't expect to see that from him at this point in the season in that central role, and Dimple says that is as well. Excellent. Well, let's see what we get in the last 30 minutes or 25 minutes as it is now. And now 13 minutes left. We'll slow it down a little bit. Inzaghi strikes with fury, so close to getting the goal. East Coast have run out of steam here in the second half. They've not really had anything at all coming forward. It's been only Byrne creating the chances. Will that change in the last couple of minutes here before we go into potentially added time? It looks as if it kind of fizzled out. Northern Burn, as mentioned, dead but not buried. East Coast didn't do anything in the second half, so that's a bit of a surprise. But we will see in the stats. Ika Casillas on a 5, Sol Campbell on a 5. There's a couple of sixes in there as well. It's worrying times for Northern Burn. They do have the home advantage in the second leg, of course, but it's not looking great for them so far. East Coast, meanwhile, I mean, you could say they were a bit in cruise control in the second half. I don't think any key players picked up a yellow card. But that's where we are. That's where we are. The plan is now, for those of you, if you're all still here, is that I will very quickly pause the stream. I will make the packs. I will send it over to the managers. If you have time, if you're able, you can send them straight back, and I will try to update the squad, and we can go again in half an hour or something like that. If that works out for everyone, or as soon as I have it back, then we can do that. If that suits everyone, then that's what we're going to do. If not, then you can also uh, get me the information later, and we can do it another time. When exactly that will be, I'm not entirely sure, but. This is as it stands at the moment. So as mentioned, I will pause the stream just now, and we will pick it up a little bit later if we can do that. As mentioned, I'll do the packs right now, and if you can get them back as soon as possible, and then we'll see where we are in about 20 minutes, half an hour's time. Thank you very much. I'll see if I can pause this. I'll probably just put the loading screen on and leave it up. Neil was here. Dimple, you don't have to do. Oh, you of course. Sorry, you have to do something. But Rox should be here. He was earlier anyway. I don't know if he's driving or whatever, but we'll try. We'll try. I'll leave the chat open. I'll leave the stream open. I'll just put it on the loading screen and go on mute, and you can chat away amongst each other if that's needed. Well, that was quick. I hope you can hear me. Um, Back again. I'm trying to get away from this burnt screen somehow. All managers have confirmed. I'm just waiting to see if Dimble is back or if he actually takes the half hour, because that would be unfair. But we do have exiles. I believe it's exiles against. Let's see. Fixtures exile against. Yeah. It's exiles against badgers first. Then anyway. So it's all good. So it's all good. But I'm just gonna give, of course, for the other game, I'll give Dimble a second. Um, Excellent. Let's see if I can get this to work again. Um, Excellent. And you can all, everything is working fine. Screen is working. You could see and hear everything. If someone can confirm, that would be awesome. Just for my peace of mind, so I don't sit here and just click randomly. All good in Greenock? No. There's no such thing as all good in Greenock. Another wonderful place in Scotland where I have lived. So yeah, that's that's not helpful. But anyway, commiserations to people in Greenock, for being in Greenock. Excellent. Exiles against Badgers. Good. We go with this. Neil says as is, so hopefully that's fine. Let's have a quick look at the squad. Nesta, 2 game suspension somehow. I think it's because it's his third red card. I didn't think you could get 2 game suspensions in Australia, but you can. There you go. So we learn something every day, but still, without him, apart from him, is obviously the strongest side. So there are no other changes for exiles. Meanwhile, Badgers has a healthy-looking squad. Yeah, well, you've only got 3 players injured now, and you're playing 2 of them anyway, so it doesn't really matter, or 4 maybe. Um, yeah, there's Toldo. He plays with a broken leg or whatever it is. Foa is kind of back, but not playing. And yeah, Davids is still suspended, or Davids is suspended. Lyth is still injured. I guess that's it for the reigning champions. Chigalco is going to be the key man for them. Good luck to both managers. We fly into this one. Exiles against Badgers. Um, and yeah, let's see. Let's see if Exiles can continue. They had a very good, solid performance in both games against Haggis. Badgers, of course, did the same against Dudley Hill. Maybe not dominant in terms of. Oh my goodness, there's Amoroso opening the scoring for Badgers. Reigning champions are finding form at the very, very crucial moment. This could be bad news for everyone else involved. I'm not sure if Northern Burn or East Coast will be worried just yet, but an informed Badger side with 2 injured players and Maxim Tsigalko in top form, that's going to be a tricky one. Uh, Everyone in form except us. Well, you never know. Things can turn around at the very last minute, and well, you will see. You will see if you get another. Well, you will get another shot. Of course, you will get at least one more game out of it, out of this season, regardless of the next result, and whether it will be enough to get back into the final, who knows? But solid performance here by Badgers. Not been much for Exiles at all here in the first half. We're going up to the half-hour mark now. I'm sure you're enjoying the slow down effects. Uh, I just feel as if it gives a little bit more of an edge here towards the end of the season, but it looked as if no edges are needed in this one. Badgers are just completely trampling all over Exiles. Mendieta, best right midfielder on the game, apparently leaving Badgers next season. So let's hope he's got someone better in. But it's been very much the away side who's been in control in this one so far. You should have waited. Imagine what you could have gotten for him now. Now that people know his true value. This is what everyone thinks Brett Emerton is actually like. Mendieta is that. That's my statement on this topic. But there's Tigalco, obviously keen to impress. Um, big signing for Badgers. Was out for ages and came back in and has starting to find a little bit of form here towards the end of the season. Uh, Tricky times for Exiles. Goal for them now would be great, but it doesn't look as if it's coming. Mm, 0-0 at halftime. Sorry, 2-0 to Badgers at halftime. It has been all the away side. Five shots, five on target. Exiles 1-1. Badgers super solid. Ryan Giggs down on a six though, but still doing okay in terms of fitness. Toldo as well, not showing any signs of his broken whatever it is that kept him on an orange. But yeah, solid from Badgers in the first half for sure. Exiles, meanwhile, has not been great. They do have Kalushny that came back from injury on the bench. Mark Overmars is still on a six. I presume the manager would want to make that change. Um, Kalushny has featured a lot previously in this season. Not that he's done particularly well, but he has featured a lot. So that's if not an obvious, then at least a possible change. He has got Vargas on the bench. A couple of other players to come in, but something is definitely needed from Exiles if they have to find their way back into this one. I'll let both managers briefly ponder their options and confirm if they want to do anything. Whoever uh, Milito off for Klimovic, and he goes up top on the right of. Oh, not like that. He goes up top on the right of Vieri, and quarterback gets central. Move Tomasi and Chaos up to MC. Well, can't say he's not trying. Um, that is very attacking from Exiles, but they do have to find two goals in the second half. So of course, things are needed. Um, Meanwhile, Badges, anything from you, Tato? Are you happy to go until 60? Has you woken up his kid or something? Potentially. This is excellent. We roll until 60. See if anything happens. Exile's going very, very attacking here. One at the back. Um, One at the back, two up top. Plenty of midfielders, etc., etc. Will it have the desired effect though? There's Mendieta getting involved again, and there's Tigalco with a header. Constanzo parries it. He's had plenty of good games this season, Costanzo, but didn't have the best first half. And that's why they have such a mountain to climb now. We're coming up to the hour mark shortly. There's not been a lot for Exiles to celebrate so far. Here comes Shimkoviak. Mendieta again involved. So Roberto is there. And we are on the hour mark now. Neil Lennon and Chimo Klumpe are on yellow cards. Ryan Giggs is on a six. So Shimkoviak. We have got Rayed and Jogatas, the obvious replacements on the bench if the manager wants to do anything. Fitness wise, it's looking okay. As mentioned, Giggs is still alive, and so is Toldo. Over at Exiles, it hasn't really changed anything with those changes. Um, Klimovic is there, of course, but he's on a six. Fitness is all looking fine, but performance-wise, it's uphill. It's uphill. Uh, I will let Rocks ponder, and I will do extend your winger arrows, gigs, something Jogatos, and Bataya for this ye. This year for Bataya gigs over Jogatos, extend winger arrows to the top. That is done. Meanwhile, Exiles. Yes. Meanwhile, Exiles move wingbacks to AMC with short arrows. Class. This is getting close to that 100 goal attempt tactic thing that you've got, I'm sure. Good. Half an hour to play. Half an hour to play. Can still be goals in this one for both sides. Exiles clearly going for it. Badgers also putting arrows on. So we will see. We will see. Oh, apologies for that. Let's get rule up. Three on the left. We shall do that straight away. Good job. I was paying attention and had it on slow. So like this. Let's get Raul up in a three on the left. Um, I've done it now. It's all good. Sorry, I was too impatient there. Um, we go like this. 20 minutes to play. Um, Aldo dives to the left on his broken leg. Doing well. Him and Giggs. Oh, Giggs has come off now. Sorry, I forgot about that. Um, it you would think it would create like an unbelievable amount of chances to one side or the other to do like this. Oh, there was Raul. That could have been very important if he'd gotten a goal then. 18 minutes left to play. A goal now, and it's all to play for sure. Raul has been super involved after getting moved up onto that left side SC position. Very, very exciting times for Exiles. It looked as if they could find a goal at any minute. Say Roberto coming down the wing, showing Mendieta a clean set of heels. There's Klimovic, Holdo, who was picked by the keeper, who was picked by the manager to be the keeper in this one, despite his injury. But repaying the faith, and there comes Sigalgo with a shot, rattles off the crossbar. 10 minutes left to play. Exiles are going to have to score now, otherwise it's going to be very difficult. And they have done exactly that. It was Mark Overmars of all people in the AMC role with the arrow glimmer of hope for Exiles here. 5 minutes left to play of regular time. Mendieta comes forward, and there is Cordoba. There Cordoba pulls down. I think it was Mendieta. Shimkoviak with a free kick. Back is involved. Amoroso is there. Now a corner, and there's Amoroso again. Goal kick for Exiles. They need to get up the other end, Exiles. They need to get up and see if they can find that second goal to take this into extra time. I didn't see how many minutes were added off, but it looks as if it's going to be very, very tight here. There comes Raul. Oh, Toldo saves it again. It's been a huge night for Toldo, and there's the final whistle. Badgers go into the preliminary final where they will meet the defeated side in the next game, East Coast against Northern Burn. It was excitement right until the end. 7 shots on target for both, and Toldo more than keeping the Badgers in it. And who was that? Neil Lennon gets the man of the match award, though. Chimo Klump is on a yellow. Um, well played, both managers there going for it, putting arrows on and really pushing forward. Struggling on the left hand side, Jogatos there coming in for gigs, but Neil Lennon picking up that man of the match award. Very, very enjoyable, as mentioned there by Rocks. Good game, commiserations, but a good solid season for Exiles there, and they made it to the last four, and that's a big achievement in itself. Raul coming in there with lots of shots on target, but really Toldo really making the most of being given that chance. Roberto was the one with the assist. I think that'll cement his position on the top of the assist makers charts. Anyway, we shall have a quick a break of about 9.5 seconds while I click to the following day. Um, in the background here, we have Northern Burn. Let's have a quick look and see if that's it. Thumb, 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 thumb. There is Northern Burn. Let's see how this works out. You should have the stream back now. Um, Northern Burn, one enforced change is Christian Kibu, who comes in at the left side of the fence for the suspended Hipia. Captaincy changes to Patrick Vieira, and I think Brosek Cole Jostov Ayala is then the one who comes in on the bench. I'm sure Ian will correct me if any of this is wrong, but I believe that was the only change. So that should be Northern Burn. I think just a sub for East Coast, was it? Um, yeah, Raider who dropped, Juliano comes in, Raider moves to the bench for uh, Mendes da Silva. Everything else stays the same. Indeed, indeed. So all good there for East Coast as well. And of course, Northern Burn outplayed in the first half, outplayed in the previous game. They came back in it. Is the tide turning in their favor? And we are about to find out as we kick off the last game of the evening, Northern Burn against East Coast. And is Northern Burn starting slightly better, or certainly having the most of the possession? It is only 5 minutes in, but it's already looking a little bit better for Northern Burn. East Coast have not had the amount of chances that they had in the previous fixture, and it's Hamilton coming forward here, obviously taking the Mendieta comments very personally and trying to show us all what he's made of. But here comes East Coast now. It looked as if they're starting to find their tempo. 25 minutes into the first half. And just as I say that, of course, is Northern Burn coming forward. They win a corner there, but nothing comes of it. Um, it's Agat coming down the other end. Ika Casillas with a good save or getting involved somehow. Ronaldinho with a header, and Casillas again stops it. And here comes Agat, uh, taking the corner kick, but it's been a bit hit and miss in terms of quality and entertainment so far in the first half. Constantino, though, is this going to be the one to change it, or is he going to be the one to change it? Ndiaye, holdback Robin, picked up a yellow card for that one, and there is potentially a dangerous free kick coming up. There wasn't at all, but I thought it was dangerous. I thought it looked as if it was in a dangerous position, but it wasn't. So Elias upends Inzaghi. Will this be in a dangerous position? Deflects off the wall. Bartes picks it up, and that should be the end of the first half, and indeed it is. Yeah, it's a little bit less interesting than the previous match, but nonetheless, a game of chess, as they say. Northern Burn having the slightly better of the chances. 4 shots for and 2 on target. East Coast 1-1, but East Coast are still leading by the 1 goal. Christian Kibu was on a 6, so his day left hand side not working particularly well. Milevski's on an 8, though. Everyone doing okay. Ian goes as is, predictably so. Joe Cole, Brosek are the two of the creative or attacking players that he got assists, both on the bench. East Coast, meanwhile, sixes and sevens. They're still in it. I doubt the manager's going to make any changes, but we'll wait for Dimple to confirm. But it's not been vintage East Coast. But he'll hope that they can hang on for sure and make any changes if needed at 60. I'm guessing, but as mentioned, we'll wait for the confirmation. Pepe Bartes has had a solid season, of course, as you'd expect from him. 737 doesn't look overly impressive in terms of the average, but only conceded 23 and 27. As long as you're under one, I think you're doing a reasonable job. We kick off the second half. We try to get on till 60 minutes and see if there will be anything happening that will encourage the managers to do anything or force them into changes. Who knows? East Coast slightly better start to the second half. That was a yellow card there for Northern Burn defender for illegally doing something. Uh, There's Harry Kewell, and there's Inzaghi. It's all on Inzaghi's shoulders for Northern Burn, though, isn't it? I think 16 goals for the season he's up to now. If it's not going to come from him, then who is going to make the things happen for Northern Burn? Who's going to make them tick? Who's going to make them bring them back into this fixture? We are 30 minutes from the end of it, and they do have to find a goal. Everyone's on the 7 apart from Christian Kibu. Now is the time for Ian to do. I won't, oh, sorry, I was just going to show the match stats. It has still been all Northern Burn, but ah, it's difficult. It's difficult to say. It's difficult to say what is missing. Insagi's had shots. Riquelme's had shots. Kuhl had shots. Bartes is doing a great job in the East Coast goal, of course. He's on an 8. So is Rustico. Everyone else sixes and sevens. Not super impressive. Not a high quality encounter so far. This one. Both managers. Presume in a bit of a Mexican standoff here. Is someone's going to blink? Is someone going to do something? Is someone going to make a change? Who knows? Or is it going to be copy paste as is and hope for the best? Um, Reyes, Salas, you'd think that East Coast wouldn't do anything and they would just kind of hope to see this one out and perhaps snatch a goal. Um, not sure if there are any real game changers on the bench for them, but who knows? Who knows? Dibble says he's going to have to stick. Yeah, you'd be a brave man to do something else. Cole for Milevski, that is all. So the defensively minded Milevski goes out, and on comes Joe Cole. Half an hour to play. Half an hour to play. Milevski leaves the pitch. He's replaced by Joe Cole. Will Joe Cole be the man who changes this up? He's involved straight away. Unlucky for Kuhl. That could have been a great goal. They do get a corner out of it. But it looks like Giuliano hits it outfield. Here comes Vieri, though. It's been much better for Bern this game compared to the first encounter a couple of games ago. Let's have a quick look here. Um, Campbell picks up a warning. Ronaldinho is going to take it. There comes Constantino. A goal for East Coast would obviously seal it. They are still leading by the 1. Emerton comes forward, smashes it towards the top corner. Fine save by Bartes. And there's a header again, a fine save by Bartes. He's definitely been the man of the match for East Coast so far this evening. They've had very little going forward, but he has kept them in it at the back. And Riquelme is now trying his best. Emerson backtracks. I'm not sure what's going on there, but of course, NTI with a high ball forward. 3 minutes to be added on. There comes a gap. Emerton sends it upfield, but they just can't find a way through, and that has sealed the deal for sure. Oh no, it's been disallowed. It's been disallowed. Iker Casillas counting his blessings there. They live to fight another couple of minutes, Northern Burn, desperately looking for that goal that will bring the scores level, but it looks as if it's not going to come. It is not. East Coast and Dimple go straight into the grand final, and Northern Burn will have to face the reigning champions, Tato, Badger's side, for the privilege of having another encounter with East Coast potentially. It was not exactly one for the history books or for the neutrals, but 9-6 Northern Burn. If Ian takes anything from it, it's a solid performance by his team, and they were just thwarted by the excellent Fabian Barthez picking up an 8 and a Man of the Match award for East Coast. Oh, that's a little bit more excitement than I was prepared for, but it's all good. Um, we're still on track for a Christmas finish. Thank you to everyone for hanging around this evening. It was very exciting. It's crazy. It's like 6 months, and it's all come down to this. Um, I will send out the packs for you, and of course I will chat with you individually. We will try and do it the same way. So we'll find an evening and we'll try and do the final and the preliminary final and the grand final in the same session. We'll do that before Christmas at some point, so we can have something to look forward to distract us from all the family stuff. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The Super League is great, really. It is, and I miss it when I don't do it. I will have to be honest. So thank you very much. Thank you for your efforts. Congratulations to East Coast. Congratulations to Badgers. Commiserations to Exiles, and good luck to Northern Burn in the minor final or whatever we call it, where you will try to find your way into the final again against East Coast. Not that you sick of seeing each other, presumably in the last couple of games. There's been a lot of Northern Burn against East Coast battles, but I'm sure a final will be worth it. Thank you very much. Packs will be out, and I'll try and organise a specific date with the three of you where we can get through the last couple of games. So good night, everyone.